everyone, and welcome back to BTS Americas, powered by Squarespace, where you can build up a website almost as easy as 1, 2, 3. Also, of course, alphadraftg2a.com and all that good stuff. With that said, we are back into Game 2 action of this singular best of 3 we have for you today on Day 3 of the BTS Americas. It's Pain Gaming going against Unknown in a Southern American affair. With that said, I'm KotLGuy bringing you the casting, and I'm joined remotely from good buddy Jenkins of Team Leviathan. Jenkins, game number 1 was a pretty much one serious brawl. Unknown put together a pretty damn greedy draft. They ran this aggro tri-lane. It seemed to get Pain a little bit puzzled. There was potential there, though, for Pain to make a comeback, but Unknown held strong and pretty much took over. What can we expect in game number 2? More so from Pain Gaming to get themselves a win.
I just think Pain Gaming need to go something that fights, because I think they were doing an excellent job of team fighting. It's just their heroes. They were late game heroes, split push heroes, and yet they were fighting and winning. But you know, having the heroes that Unknown had, they just eventually lost to all the insane damage and lockdown. So picking up a Tuskar is kind of going with that general theme. That's kind of nice that they're going this route.
Yep. You were calling out that maybe they should consider banning the TA. Sometimes we just allow these players to get their comfort heroes, regardless of maybe what normal people might think is, that doesn't really suit this playstyle and draft they throw together. Sometimes we just get that comfortable hero. You're just going to play your A game, and I feel like we saw it there with TA. So we'll see if Pain Gaming are just going to let that hero slide and potentially that Unknown could grab it again. Or, you know, if they do that, they risk letting something else go. Maybe a certain Huskar can make an appearance. You know, we'll have to see. But about the actual draft, so yeah, Tusk and Lesh. Lesh again making his way through, but this time it's going to be going to the Pain side. And Unknown, they get their Shadow Fiend. It's going to be on Radiant side, which, you know, he loves. And they're going to follow it up with a Disruptor grab. So the Disruptor grab is a bit interesting. I guess the Glimpse can help with an incoming Snowball or keeping that Lesh locked down in silence. Leshes don't typically go for BKB unless they feel they absolutely need it. So I guess it could help there.
Yeah, maybe just like something they consider a decent counter to the Tuskar offlane, because I guess he kind of runs away. That's like what he does. He has no real escape. Snowball's kind of a delay mechanism, but you know, if you try to just run away from a Disruptor on offlane, you're just gonna get glimpsed. So he has to play so back right now, and okay, they go for a Bloodseeker. That's a hero.
That is a hero. That's a hero that everyone seems to like and hate at the same time as of recent. More so hate. Everyone I talk to is like, ugh, I just hate this hero. But they got to pick it. They got to play it because he offers so much. And the biggest thing is just how deceptive he can quickly pounce on like a particular offlaner, you know, when he's just farming away in the safe lane. And then action breaks out on the other side of the map. And you're kind of unaware of it. But next thing you know, because of that thirst, Bloodseeker quickly is a race car and hits you, you know, like knockout power, and your offlaner's is like, okay, well, suddenly I'm dead. And that's just something that could be very deceptive going against a team with Bloodseeker. Now, will we see the Zeus follow-up is another thing, man. He could certainly amplify the damage output from anyone on his team. It's pretty scary as is with just a Shadow Fiend, but Zeus is just the common peanut butter and jelly combo of Bloodseeker, and it is an option that's still out there.
10 seconds
yeah,
remaining.
it's pretty ludicrous damage. Kind of in the same vein with just like a ton of magic damage. Lena's also really, really good, but I'm not sure how much you really want to pick it with a Disruptor, because you know you really don't have that much setup on this team right now, other than the Rupture. So we'll see what they go for. Probably something that's like heavy magic damage, heavy damage to amp up as a support with the Blood Rage would be really nice for them.
Do you guys run? Does Shredder play Bloodseeker every once in a while?
Oh, they went for the Zeus. Offlane Zeus, I guess.
Team pick.
Cool. Or support.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays it. We haven't picked it recently, but it's yeah, he's definitely a Bloodseeker player. I mean, it's a pretty basic hero. You kind of just annihilate the offlaner with like plus 40 damage and 600 movement speed. I feel really bad for this Tuskar this game. He's leaning against a little
if you're going against the Bloodseeker, is there anything that pops out as maybe something that would be typically a good counter? Maybe that's something that Pain can't go for now, but let's just say for people out there watching who go against Bloodseeker in their pubs, you know, what would you think is very good to stop a Bloodseeker or to just prevent him from being, you know, the ridiculous hero that we've come to know?
5 seconds
I mean, it's pretty typical to say this, but Definitely like having a TP scroll is a big counter. Storm and Ember are considered really good counters because you can use your remnants and your ball lightning and take no damage. So you know, if Bloodseeker ruptures Storm, he actually doesn't have a silence that's just like a targetable silence anymore, like he used to, like what, 2 patches ago or something.
Yeah.
So he actually, Storm actually does not give a damn about Bloodseeker because if he gets ruptured, so what? He just zips around anyway. So
yeah,
I think Storm's definitely a really good pick here.
It is kind of interesting to see Storm picked up into a disruptor. I think he's the only one that's kind of like it could be a bit sticky there. A quick glimpse back with a preemptive static storm, and that Storm Spirit's not going to be hopping away so easy. So it is a bit of a risky pick into that. But yeah, with the Bloodseeker, with a Shadow Fiend, they don't really have a lot to offer to stop this storm. I mean, disables are just really not there for Unknown, with the exception of maybe Kinetic Field and a Glimpse setup. They have no raw stun or disable to stop them. So it's something they might have to go for if they want to make the Zeus be the off-lane grab that could still get something else, you know, maybe like a Sand King, something that needs to offer a bit of stun and help to keep this Storm Spirit in place.
Really Lion,
Lion, a hero people seem to be forgetting about as of recent. Vengeful Spirit used to be a classic go-to, could offer some aura potential along with Shadow Fiend plus the minus armor synergy there. There are definitely options, but I'm curious to see where this Zeus ends up, whether it is going to be in that support position and they get someone else for the off lane that could fill that stunning role or what. But for Pain Gaming, they're probably feeling pretty damn comfortable. A lot of burst, a lot of magic. No real raw late game. Lesh obviously could take it pretty damn far. Storm, you know, he could carry, but this not the same as like your usual like PLs, Nagas, AMs. I'm curious if they're going to stack something a bit extra on top, or if they're going to get another support. But yeah, Mirana picked up Lady Mirana, Milady. Okay.
I mean, the Storm actually just has to worry about the Disruptor right now, and then also like a Yule Shadow Fiend. That's kind of it. If he doesn't get like heavily dominated in laning stage, I think Pain Gaming's gonna have a relatively easy time in this game, because either the disables are gonna be spent on Storm, and then Leshrac is gonna go crazy, or you know, vice versa. So yeah, it's actually Unknown's gonna have to do some really nice early game rotations in order to make this work. Which, considering how they play, I definitely think it's possible.
Yeah, maybe it's just going to be that annoying mid lane support Mirana that mid laners just hate so much. Like, oh, the arrow, it's going to be coming. Just when and where, and am I ready for it? Is maybe something Storm Spirit's going to have to consider. I mean, you said one of the things, since they don't have a lot to stop him later on, is punishing him in the laning phase. And you know, I guess maybe they feel like Mirana's the one, but I don't know. I'm still a bit skeptical. You know, it's not like a reliable stun. You have to hope you connect with that arrow, and then later in the game, that seems much less likely. But the round-out pick here for Pain Gaming is going to be the Bruiser and Bristleback. So another somewhat pretty greedy lineup. This time on the side of Pain. Bristleback though, and it's now going to be picked by Mr. Squiggles, who was their mid lane Shadow Fiend. I wonder if they're going to just change positions or change roles, or how they're going to lane this one up.
This honestly, they might change positions, but if they did a safe lane Storm and then a mid Shadow Fiend, a mid Bristleback, like how much do you really want to be like arrowing a Bristleback mid? I mean, he's going to get not all that much farm against a Shadow Fiend. Like, Shadow Fiend's going to get it a lot out of the lane, but the ganking coming out from Unknown is just going to be pretty irrelevant if they do run that mid. We'll see where he goes.
Yeah, I agree.
Looks like he's got 2 sticks. He might be rushing bottle on safe lane. I don't know. We'll see.
See.
I think Storm is going safe lane build actually with that.
And now he's heading top. He's got his little tourist cap ready to go. And they're all moving that party up at the top. And so we get started here. Game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Team Unknown is your team that's got the one etch in your win column so far. So it's match point for them. They managed to win this game. They get to move on. And folks, you got to remember, for BTS Americas, it's not a double elimination. You lose your best of 3, you're done. You're going home. No more chance at that sweet 10K prize pool. And, well, with that said, let's go ahead and fire off some introductions here. I'll go with, I did Team Unknown last time, so I'll go ahead and do Pain Gaming. Over here on the top, we got Lesh, C4T, I would imagine also called the Cat. He's going to be playing your Lesh. We got the Squiggle. He's going to be playing your Bristleback. 4DR is on your Storm Spirit near mid lane. Dot, he's going to be reprinting his role on the Rubik. We gave him a lot of praise in the last game for supporting, making stacks for his Shadow Fiend, and overall just kind of being a presence, but he's going to give it another go. And again, Tavo also, he's going to be revisiting the Tusk once again. So, you know, maybe just warmed up after game 1 and hoping to get a better go for game number 2. And classy drawings coming out as we have a pause. Jenkins, why don't you go ahead, and if you want, you could do a nice long-winded introduction of Team Unknown. You know?
Okay, here we go. God, why'd you have to pick the opposite team? Okay, we have Bloodseeker is playing. He appears to be on the top lane for whatever reason. Looks like they're doing an aggro. Interesting. Squiggle Akanu.
Yeah, their guess is as good as mine.
Disruptor is being played by Aokiji. Shadow Fiend is being played by Takane, I Want to See You, and then Z-God is playing Mirana. It's actually Z-Talk. It's pretty interesting spin on his name there.
Oh, you're right.
Z-Talk. And then Isho on the Zeus bottom lane.
Now, if I look over their submitted roster, it's, yeah, Z-Talk, Takane, that's right. Ishno is correct. Akinu and Koji, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, it's something. For all I know, it's linked to maybe an anime. I don't know if you watch a lot of those. Typically, when I have mod here, we love to play Name That Anime, because more often than not, like, at least half of the players usually have something as far as anime picture goes, and I don't know anything outside of what was Dragon Ball, so...
I really, yeah, I'm kind of the same.
We're in the same boat. All right.
Anime, so.
First arrow of the game is going to connect onto Bristle, and they start chunking him down. This looks like it's going to be a quick first blood. It is. The raise is going to be the exclamation point on that one, and Takane is going to get the first strike. So your Shadow Fiend now gets to walk into his mid lane, not with the best block, but with a big boost there. He's near level 2, and he's got a nice bit of a purse there.
Free bottle.
Free bottle, already en route.
Actually, it looks like he sent out a Boots and Magic Stick because he knows he's laning against the Bristle. This is definitely the right choice.
Yep, the Harry Potter special, I like to say. But against the Bristle, that stick is going to see a lot of mileage. But look at this dual lane coming out. They're going to have Lesh try to zone back this Shadow Fiend a bit, because otherwise this Bristle is just going to get easily kind of, you know, beaten and battered. And I'm sure he's expecting that, though, coming to this matchup. Look at this on the other side. Okay, good up and throw here at the top here from Mr. Dot Dot. Gets the telekinesis pull back onto your Disruptor. He's going to have to pull out a kinetic field, but he's just letting him know, hey, I see you there. Don't try anything fishy. We know you're dealing with this aggro lane. Bloodseeker is the only one who really gets to freely CS. 40 is trying to move forward, but he doesn't really know where this Mirana is, and she is parked and waiting. The arrow's going to fly, and it's going to be off the mark, so it will not connect. But the pressure is already on, and the second the arrow flies, they're like, let's go. Maybe for this Disruptor, but he already heads his way out. So, Jenkins, we're probably going to have to keep eyes on this top lane. It already seems like they're getting a bit aggressive.
Man, Unknown really love these aggros. It's pretty dangerous to do this, because if your aggro fails, you usually lose the game just because of how much pressure is on the other lanes when you aggro.
One more? They got him. Whoa, bottom lane. That was one hell of a connection of a split earth. I thought he wasn't even going to throw it, but Cat somehow makes the split earth connect, and with one last aim-hacking, lingering right click, they get the Zeus down. So, return of punishment here, as Pain Gaming are going to get themselves on the board now and make it 1-1. So, Talvo this time off to a one hell of a start for his offlane Tusk. He's already at level 3. He's clarity up. He's getting just a lot of assistance from Cat in a dual lane setup, and really Zeus, you know, if he's not in the mid lane, it's a bit of a difficult time here, and already just they continue to make sure that he's punished.
Yeah, that's definitely making use of the fact that there's just 2 supports sitting top and mid. Leshrac making the right call going bottom. Definitely a good choice out of him. Arrow's flying in mid still, so annoying. It's
from behind, too, so Rubik is like, wait, what? Where the hell did that arrow come from? So he just moves over to where Mirana is. Is Mirana still level 1? She is, so she has no leap. She is stuck. There's no goo early level up here for Bristle, but one more spike and she's dead. Okay, one more other spike and she's dead. All right, she ends up going down to Rubik. Bristleback's not going to get that one, but nonetheless, the job has been done. And with that, Pain Gaming etch themselves ahead now 2-1. Mirana, you know, maybe getting a bit over assertive, showing herself in that mid lane without having leap. That's very dangerous.
The nice thing about this, the dual lane against the tri lane, is that obviously when the Mirana's dying like that, it opens up for Storm. So the dual lane that he's now facing alone top, he can actually just, you know, walk into the jungle, do pulls,
No.
Get a bunch of,
yeah, bottom lane, they're trading. I caught the whole thing, and it looks like they make the first initial catch onto Zeus, but the return fire comes out from Z-Talk with that arrow, catches the Tusk, and they get the return kill. But Zeus does go down first. Tusk benefits from the little bit of XP boost, but nonetheless, similar trades that we've been seeing from game number 1. More aggression coming out, more so from the side of Unknown. Just moving all over the place with their aggro setup.
Their lane swapping now.
You're right, yeah. They moved this
on
trifecta down to the bottom lane. I guess they didn't get as much off the top lane as they'd like.
That's a important trap forcing them to make that rotation. Cat's actually just winning them in this game right now with this rotation.
Yeah. Cat goes back. Tusk moves forward with a snowball on a Disruptor. And Disruptor has 2 levels into Glimpse early. No Thunderstrike yet. But it's a long cooldown nonetheless. So he got the pullback for Tusk. Tusk is not going to get taken down. Mid lane, a hasted Shadow Fiend tries to make the charge, but he actually shoots back the other way. Bristle able to sidestep where an arrow was coming from on the south side. Shadow Fiend very low, needs to bottle up. Maybe consider using the stick, but uh-oh, Z-Talk, nice sidestep, going to be avoiding the splitter. Now runs up to get it away. Cat has no more mana to nuke anything else down. Rubik is going to help with the chase. He does have a Telekinesis and a Fade Bolt here. He can't quite get close enough, but now comes the Snowball, and that's where Miranda screams out, oh, space created, I guess. She does force 3 to rotate to her.
My god, Z-Talk is being so annoying on Mirana. She's like arrowing people from behind their towers in every lane, but this has freed up space for the Storm Spirit on top, and he already has a magic wand going against the Zeus. So this is kind of just like a mid lane that we're watching happen, except on top lane.
Yeah. And the only other advantage is, you know, they get to work with these side little pull camps. 40R is messing with it a bit, and he gets to head up, and he has the lane ward vision, and looks like Zeus is just like, I got to step all the way back and block out the wave a bit, try to get this wave closer to the tower so I can at least leech some free XP, but he is pulling behind a little bit. He's at level 4.5. Storm is at 5.5, just to kind of give you an idea of the difference. If you look over the CS chart on the left-hand side, you can see the top is belonging to both the Bloodseeker and your Shadow Fiend, then the Storm thereafter. Ooh, arrow mid lane barely misses onto Cat and the Bristle, but they will be able to avoid it. So this is very similar to Jenkins to what we saw in the last game. The farming is going pretty damn good for Unknown lane-wise, but Pain are etching out a little bit more pick-off potential.
Yeah. One thing to note is that the Tuskar really doesn't care if he gets lost hits. He's not really like item dependent at all. And last time the Tusk was getting lost hits, and then the Storm wasn't. So this time, 40R is actually getting space created for him. So from an early point in the game. So this is really good for him because he's definitely gonna make use of this. Like he's taking the whole jungle on a Storm Spirit now.
Tavo with an Invis is camping mid lane now. Xiaofi made the return after picking up the bounty. Will bottle up a bit, but will they be able to get the catch here? They do have Disruptor nearby. The 1-2-1 build-up, one simple kinetic field, maybe a glimpse back, could be more than enough to help out the Shadow Fiend, but it looks like they're not going to go for him. I say that, but now the kinetic field flies out. They're looking to go for Bristle here. They get off a nice raise, a follow-up raise, a third and an auto attack. No uphill miss for him as they get the finishing blow. And unfortunately, Cat was just a little too far. Shows up, but it's just too late. Bristle's going to be going down. He is now 0-2-1. Your Shadow Fiend 1-0-1. I believe the Disruptor got that kill. He did. So, oh, whoa! Nice move forward from Lesh. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he will miss the arrow. But the glimpse, you can't dodge. She gets brought right back into the hands of Shadow Fiend. They even preemptively cut up the Split Earth, but they don't. Okay. Mirana leaps in. Little Robin Hood is able to get the catch with the arrow right there. But, man, oh, man. They, like, sidestep perfectly the Split Earth, but then I don't know if they just assumed that the Lesh was going to be going down, but they almost just let him get away.
Yeah, the 2 uphill auto attacks both missed. So, that's, I mean, like, incredibly unlikely, but it happened. Luckily, Mirana was able to actually pick up the kill.
A leap forward and a right click is what got it there at the end. But still, Unknown now able to etch a couple more kills, get themselves back to even here. But it looks like even as far as kills go. Based on the farm, you can see a 2K net worth advantage for Unknown overall. And with this pause, we can get a moment to actually look at some of the sidelines here that seem to be a bit more quiet. Tavo on his Tusk. He is currently level 6, just a fresh level 6.
He's actually ruptured too right now.
Yeah, he is ruptured. I see that. And he has not put a point yet from his level 6. So he's probably going to just go into the Walrus Punch, I would assume. But it does mean he'll have that ready. But Bloodseeker, you know, who already has a Midas now committed and is going with the 2-0-3-1 kind of a build-up, Do you think he's going to be able to get the catch here on Tusk? There's a tier 1 that they could TP to now. I'm sure they're analyzing the situation as it stands during this pause, so I don't know if Bloodseeker's going to get the connection here.
I don't think it's a kill. He's just going to punch him and then snowball, and then Rupture's going to be like half duration. He has a bottle too.
Well, let's see.
Yeah,
well, Bloodseeker just accepts the fact that's not happening, and Tusk will just walk away a bit, so nothing will really end up coming out of it. But you know, this Bloodseeker, though, his farming race has already started. I mean, 51-27 with a Midas already that he's been continuously to use. He's on good pace, and I'm curious to see if Pain are going to have to do something about it. Cat's already heading his way towards the bottom with just some arcane boots, but they'll need to find a way to stop this Bloodseeker from snowballing.
Unfortunately, on the same kind of vein is that the Shadow Fiend is also getting some really nice farm, and he's just going straight for a Yule's Rush. So the Storm is going to have to be really careful, because he can just Yule's and one-hit him at almost any point in the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, with even a bigger stack, he's just going to farm right through that, and that will solidify his Yule's completion. And they already have a smoke as well, so they're going to look to put it right to use here, Jenkins. They want to see if they can get that fancy schmancy Spirit Bomb action right off the bat. And while Rubik mid lane is just trying to get some solo XP to a level 6, he does also have a smoke himself, but Bristle is going to make his return, still trying to just throw together power treads. And well, speaking of which, their Storm gets his own at the top, but let's keep focused bottom lane. Snowball on forward. They're going for Z-Talk to get the uppercut. She spaz leaps down to the south and will make it away from trouble. Tavo gets glimpsed back about 4 feet, but not going to matter. Arrow will connect, and it's on Tavo. A follow-up comes out, the ult from Zeus. Bloodseeker charges past Tavo, is going right for Cat, and they get the kill. He goes down to the Shadow Fiend in the end. Tavo going to get connected on as well with another raise. Shadow Fiend gets 2 all day. A beautiful double kill setup comes out as both the mid and bottom lane converge from the side of Unknown.
Is under attack.
Yeah, you can't run from Bloodseeker. He did the right thing on the Tusk, which is just like trying to TP out, but the Shadow Fiend with a nice raise to finish him off. I think it was Blood Rage too, so you know, just does like 400
structures are fortified.
Just crazy. And he just got that Yule's, and he already has 1,100 gold saved up, so he is getting into beast mode at this point. On the other side, Zeus about to get his level 7, gets it now. Just a modest, tranquil Soul Ring build up for him. Just a continuation of good move speed, an extra bit of armor, mana on hand when necessary, but he's just kind of toying with this Storm a bit, and you know, he just participates globally when necessary. Just needs more time to farm up, but you could say the same for the Storm as well. I mean, he's been pretty quiet this game. As expected, he just needs to get more levels, get some early bits of farm, and then he can look to participate, but he just still needs a bit more. And now that you see what the Shadow Fiend and Bloodseeker got, you're going to hesitate a bit on rotating and being a part of these fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got a Soul Ring and treads right now against a Shadow Fiend who has a Yule Scepter and also treads. So Arrow coming in just off the mark. That would have been a nice kill.
Yeah, they almost got 40 R. He's the lone one for Pain there. The rest of Pain are rounding the bend. They now see where Unknown are. And are they going to try to cut them off from behind?
I don't think they want to.
Yeah, so there's a chance this smoke is going to go to nothing. But Mirana on the high ground, I think, just got vision of Rubik TPing in. We'll see all the rotations coming here. They also ping out exactly where Cat is. Pain are trying to converge onto this, but Unknown might know what's coming their way. Tavo going to get the connection onto Z-Talk. Z-Talk can get pulled back. Mirana could be brought down here. No, she will go down. On the other side, they're also making the move to Bloodseeker as Bristleback looks to move in. Storm falls forward, gets the cleanup, and they're going to get a double kill on their Storm. But at the same moment, Shadow Fiend charges in, gets the finish on the Bristleback, gets the connection on the Tavo. Now he is going to get pulled back from 40R. They both decide to duke it out trading, trying to sidestep the raise, but can't get away from it. Does get the Storm, a triple kill for him. Dot steps in, says I've seen enough, gets the finishing catch onto Shadow Fiend, and finally when everything finishes up, it's a 4-for-3 trade. The numbers favor Pain Gaming in the end. 9-9 is your score tie though.
My god. 9-9. 11 minutes. Come on, guys. These teams just love having these like 5-on-5 engages all throughout the game. They just smoke directly into each other, like one after another.
And we didn't even
unfortunately the Storm didn't get the pick off on the Shadow Fiend, but the support's picking up is just fine too. Oh, here we go.
More waiting, more lag, little bits. We'll continue to wait out. But, I mean, I agree with you. Just even though Pain, like, they did that smoke to go deep into Unknown's territory, and they realized that, okay, well, this smoke adventure is not really getting us anything. They're still persistent enough to be like, but we still want to fight. So let's head mid lane and catch him out there. Not let's start to separate and just get farm. It's clear that Unknown are moving and deathballing a little bit at this point. They might take our tier 1, but maybe we can get more out of farming the other lanes. No, we're gonna fight as well. So, I mean, it's a crowd pleasing thing, of course, to see all the blood action, but I don't know if it's gonna pay off for one team or the other in the end. I mean, if it continues to go this way, Jenkins, and both teams just want to continue to kind of clash. I mean, is there a team you kind of give a bit of a favorite to? Is it Unknown with already their little bit of farming advantage and being an item ahead, or is it Pain? I mean, Pain came out on top technically in that fight, so I mean, they're tenacious.
Yeah, if they keep fighting in Pain's territory, Pain's definitely going to come out on top, just because the Storm can be farming somewhere and TP in anywhere, and then zip in. I was actually going to say that if Storm was 11 that fight, I think that they would have. Like with the faster zip, I think that they would have just gotten totally wiped on Unknown, because he was trying his best to clean up everything, but it's just slightly too slow. So yeah, definitely I think Pain's gonna come out on top if they fight in their territory. Also, they have Leshrac, so I mean, they probably win the game.
Yeah.
Dire's
So that Lesh hero is pretty good, and for both series so far, he was allowed through the banning phase, the initial banning phase, so he got grabbed up. This time for Pain. It felt like at this time in the last game that we were recognizing quickly that their Unknown's position for Lesh was quickly becoming more of a core. This game, it's not as fast-paced for the Lesh and Cat, but he's trying to make it work. Bottom lane, though, they quickly engage and quickly get rid of the Bloodseeker. That was just a hit and run right there, Jenkins. They were men on missions.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, this Storm, like, if the Disruptor ults anybody else, and then the Shadow Fiend doesn't get to use the Storm because he's zipping a lot, or if the Shadow Fiend uses someone else, there's absolutely no way the Storm can die if he doesn't get caught by an arrow. And I mean, how do you get caught by an arrow when you can just zip around?
Yep.
So the higher level he gets, the harder it's going to be to kill the Storm, because he's just going to be so fast and elusive.
Now we see Tavo pick up an Invis here. He's heading right to the high ground. He's going to get vision here on the Mirana and Shadow Fiend, and they won't see him. He's waiting and waiting. Cat's coming. Okay, dishes out the ice shards. She leaps right over his head, but right towards Cat. And with that, her dead little body is going to get uppercut into the heavens above. High five Jesus, come right back crashing to the ground. So 11-9, another successful pick for Pain, and they might get another. Bloodseeker just suddenly shows up and comes with telekinesis. High Charge is there. Cat's on hand, and he's just like, I don't know what the hell to do, and he just caves. That's 2 back-to-back takedowns of Bloodseeker. What is happening to Unknown?
He might be on tilt. I don't know. That looked like tilt. He just gave up there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Accepted death.
Oh, man.
I don't know, man. That's not looking good.
Pain have these great aggressive wards that scout out the movement from Unknown in their own woods, but maybe Unknown need to consider some vision themselves. When we look at their vision, they have what looks like 2 wards, one just in the middle of mid lane and one up in the Pain woods. Pain haven't even been in their own woods for what feels like the past 5 minutes or so. They have been on their own adventure, hunting down Unknown, and that's where Unknown are weak. They don't see the vision in their own woods. They don't see the Pain Gaming squad rotate through, and get scared. Mid lane engagement. Looks like Shadow Fiend tried to move on forward, did the Yule's Requiem combo, but it's a bristleback, so it's kind of like, not too bad. Shrugs it off a bit, and they have to disengage, so that's a bit of a defeat right there for Shadow Fiend, not getting an edge kill. Too. Yeah, no Requiem.
That's actually huge. Rubik has Requiem.
Right? Oh man, and telekinesis into Requiem, the timing is pretty good.
Dire's middle tower is under
I don't know if it's exact or not. I mean, it's almost the poor man's Yule, so it works out pretty damn well. If he manages to time it out well.
Yeah, I think if it's level 2, it's like fairly close. It'll be really, really hard for anyone to get out of like damage. Either way.
Oh man, they have spotted Bloodseeker again and kill him again, and Disruptor walks right into trouble. Dishes out his own kinetic field static storm, but it's not going to get anything done. He ends up losing his own life, and then Z-Talk thereafter. Things are crumbling right now for Team Unknown as Pain continue to punish them and find pick after pick. And they just immediately segue back towards this mid lane. It's time to follow up these picks with some objectives, gentlemen, as maybe they go for the tier 1 mid lane. But that is 3 times straight we have seen the Bloodseeker go down, and then they get 2 additional grabs thereafter. So that network graph is what was once above a 3K advantage for Unknown is just starting to plummet all the way back towards Pain came his way.
Rubik actually just used Requiem in that fight. Fade bolted, that stole Zeus ult and used Zeus ult. He just did like 750 AoE damage to the enemy team from just stolen spells and Fade bolt. This guy's playing out of his mind this game.
Just we wish we had a name to put to the player as it stands right now, Mr. Dot Dot. Whoever the hell you are, you've been playing one hell of a Rubik game so far. In the last game, he also set up a lot, but didn't quite get the victory. This time, they're looking to try to stretch this series to a game 3. Pain certainly will need the win, and they are utilizing it. They're playing like they need it. And we see Bristle farming up the Ancient Camp. It looks like he's going to go for a Crimson Guard build-up. No, he just sold the Vite Booster, actually, and instead has committed for the Ogre Club. So he's changing course to either go for a Sage of an SMY or a BKB, but I don't know if a BKB would help a whole lot here.
I guess the way he sees it, the only actual disable that they have is the Disruptor. So the Disruptor and then the Mirana Arrow. So if he gets a BKB, he's actually just un-CCable this game.
Good sidestep, avoids the arrow coming down the mid lane, and for Team Unknown, this is where we fear for your support Mirana. And you know, she's a nuisance at the start, laying out arrows, trying to get catches, being a problem towards the mid lane. But when you start not finding the kills or the levels, and you're not really spending time farming the mid lane, we'll have to possibly hold this thought. They look to engage mid lane, but a quick blink back, they're not going to get caught. But, you know, the Mirana could fall off quickly because she just really doesn't have anything to offer at this point except a level 3 arrow. Boots and a wand and a TP scroll. Not a lot. But here we go. Pain, charge on forward. The arrow flying out looks like it connects, but it's on an illusion, so nothing too profitable there. But it's starting to look like Pain are in a very comfortable spot to just take any fight that's coming their way. And they're just going to bulldoze down this mid lane. And, I fear for Unknown on what they're going to do as a response. It looks like they're just going to have Bloodseeker farm out on the side, but that means they're just stuck with a 4-man unit here in the mid lane, which I don't see winning a fight.
Yeah, I bet they regret going for these Midases right now. Even Disruptor built a Midas this game, so it just means that they can't fight. And clearly Pain Gaming, from the last game, we can see that they're like really excellent at actually like their team fight mechanics. I mean, just given the Rubik's play, it's very obvious they're really good at team fighting. They like to be.
Got a Stag Storm to help. A quick self-duel. Shelby's trying his best to stay alive. Will go down. That Death Record, though, good damage on 40R. He's going to try to ball lightning away from trouble. They get Disruptor down. Bristleback charging on forward, looking to clean up the rest. A kill for Tavo makes it a killing spree all day. And Jenkins, that might have just been game. Already a GG to come out. That's it. We're done. 18 minutes is all it takes. And Pain have shown that they are way far ahead of this one. After pick after pick after pick. Maybe chalk it up. Maybe Unknown a bit on tilt in that one, but they don't even allow it to get past that tier 1 before they call it game. That was pretty damn decisive a play. I didn't really expect them to actually call it. Wow.
Yeah, I actually think that Pain is just going to stomp through the next game. I think they're going to win the series because I think they're really good at team fighting, and they just need to realize that if they just pick fighting heroes, they can fight. You know what I mean? Like, they don't need the anti-mage. Yeah. They don't need this like silly late game shit. Like, they can just go absolutely ham on team fighting and they'll win, because obviously they're like very good at it. So definitely abusing that this game, and it turned out well. Put the enemy team on tilt. Yeah.
Pain as a whole withstood, held strong, and got to give big props, of course, to Dot Dot and that Rubik. Tremendous steals, tremendous outputs of damage, and good rotations secures him a 407 record. His team gets the win, and we get to go to a Game 3. And we would love to hear what you, the watchers, felt as your MVP. You could always tweet at Squarespace, who is the helping us out here for BTS Americas, who you thought the MVP was, and make sure to hashtag BTS Americas with it. Say why you thought the MVP was, and you could score yourself a free code for 1 year on Squarespace. So Game 3 action going to be coming up here for BTS Americas. I'm KotLGuy. Joining me, of course, is the illustrious Jenkins from Team Leviathan. Catch him over on his Twitter at JenkinsDota. We'll be back for Game 3 in just a few moments.